This here is a story about Junior Mint, my rickety yet trusty car. Yeah, we've been through a lot. In the beginning, it was a company car, bought off of a secondhand lot so that I wouldn't look so goofy when I drove in to meet my clients. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Phil, if that was your replacement, then what were you driving before? The answer to that is an old Nissan pickup that reeked of cigarette smoke and my dad's Franken monster of a minivan, a Dodge Caravan that appeared to have suffered from an autoimmune disease. Get it? An autoimmune disease. An autoimmune... Forget it. Needless to say, I was so happy to get a semi-new vehicle. Even though I had a hard time getting it into first because the stick jammed quite a bit, it was so fun to drive. I mean, I drove this thing everywhere from Petaluma to El Centro to Madera to Moreno Valley and back. I took it back and forth from Texas twice after a couple of moves, and more recently, I drove it back from Redding maybe a couple dozen times. But it wasn't always a traveler. When I was in town, I piled the guy up with friends and we'd, with very little legroom, share unconditioned air conditioning, if you catch my drift, and a slew of millennial jams. I think we may have played Night Visions from Imagine Dragons maybe a couple hundred times. And then there were some dates. Oh man, there were some ladies, some of whom were great, but some of whom were questionable too, who I happened to swap tongues with in the car. Why? What is wrong with me? It makes me want to gargle gasoline just thinking about it.
Tastes like sweet and sour, like a tangy sauce. It tingles at first and then it burns the back of my throat. Even though it hurts me, it makes me feel good.
Does that mean? But it's almost time to say goodbye. You see, a couple weeks ago while I was working at the US Open in Pebble Beach, someone hit my car, leaving a couple contusions on Minty's hips. Fortunately, the driver was cool. He left me a message on my phone and let me know that his insurance would cover it. And cover it, it would. The insurance company recently called me to tell me that the damage done rendered the car totaled and that they would issue me a check for the car's impressive value of $2,700 once I forfeited him. Sad, right? Wrong! It's bone crushing. But then again, maybe there's a silver lining in all this. Maybe I could get a minivan and throw hydraulics on it. So why did I tell you the story when you could have been watching someone lick tubs of Bluebell ice cream on the interwebs?
So nasty. A young woman is seen on video licking a container of ice cream and putting it back in the store freezer.
Well, for one, I wanted to immortalize Junior Mint's legacy as the best crap car I ever had the privilege of driving. I wanted to remember with greater viscosity how blissful a relationship a guy can have with his car, no matter how much the passenger wheel bearing explodes. And two, I wanted to inspire you to tell your story, because despite how mundane life can get sometimes, there's a story in everything. A piece of jewelry that was passed down, a donut shop down the street you used to visit, Dad's odd behaviorisms, that time you got pulled over at the most inconvenient time, a simple hug, a rediscovered letter, or a fond farewell of the one you grew to love. Your story matters, so love it, live it, and tell it. Could you believe it? It's been 1 whole year since I started making videos here on YouTube. Thank you so much to those of you who have stuck around and watched my videos. Now, if you're interested in more, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see the first rendition of this video, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description box below. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you guys next time.